Hey guys, it's Baban and I'm back with another video, and in this one we're going to be doing some traditional art. Now I did the one on the left last year, and this year I'm doing the one on the right. These are gifts for Friendo, and this video was released early on the Patreon. So while I'm doing some sketching, let's have a look at what I'm going to use. So I have a basic Papermate, just HB mechanical pencil. It's not great, it's fine. I like to use these Unipin fine liners, and I am using a 0.2 and also the brush one. I like these especially because they are waterproof and don't bleed when you use any other kind of wet media with them. So alcohol markers, watercolors. I have some white gel pens, so this is a Uniball Signo, which I'm liking quite a lot actually, and I also have another one which is a Pilot Choose. I think I prefer the Uniball one, that seems to work a bit better. I also have a Della Rowney sketching pencil in white, and that's more chalky than the other ones I'm going to show you in a minute. For colouring, I'm going to be using Copics and pencils, so I have all my Copics here. You can see they've got the brush end and the chisel end. I've had these for a while, but I tend not to use them very much because I'm scared of them running out. I know the ink is very expensive, so it's kind of rare that I use these, but I do enjoy using them. And then also, with the pencils that I'm going to be using, I have a big box of Derwent Coloursoft pencils, so that looks like this. Nice big fancy box. Again, I've had these for kind of a long time and don't use them that much. But I've got a whole range of different colours in there, and they're going to be going on top of what I do with those Copics. So I'm going to put most of those base colours down in shading with the Copics. And then to have a bit more control on gradients, I'm going to use those pencils. The paper that I'm using also is 250 GSM Della Rowney mixed media paper. And it's got a bit of a grab to it, so you'll notice there's a bit of crunch to this, but I wanted to use a paper that was quite heavy and had some of that crunch so you could see more of that pencil texture. I didn't want to smooth it out too much. I also have a putty eraser, which you can see me moving around on the paper there as I'm tidying stuff up, and I'm going to go over the whole thing once that sketch is done to lighten it up before I start doing my lines as well. So you can see I've already done the sketching, sort of running through ideas and getting all the stupid poses out of the way to try and figure one out that looked nice. And then I did one that was a bit tidier over on the side so that I have that for reference as I'm tidying this up, and I'm just translating that onto the nice paper basically. I did intend to go in with just the 0.2 inking pen on this when I started as well, but then I got used to using the brush pen, which, if you know the way I do stuff digital, I usually use the G pen in Clip Studio and don't vary much from that. And the way that the Uniball brush pen behaves reminds me of that, because I can get sort of a similar variation in that to what I do digitally with the way that I make my brush weight and pressure sensitivity behave. I'm kind of following what I usually do with line weight, which is to put that initial line down and then go and add that weight in where I want to. I do have a line art tutorial that is relevant to this, so I will put a link to that up in the corner now. I am leaving a few bits where the line art dissipates because I'm anticipating glow needing to be placed there, so around his hair where he's got his little electricity crown, that's going to happen. Also, this is Cherry's character, Duke, who has not appeared in the comic yet. He is from the comic The Great Zazzle, also by Cherry. And the previous one I showed at the start is Hamtana, who is from the same. Cherry actually commissioned me to draw Zazzle and Hamtana digitally recently, so there they are as well. Now that I am almost done with this inking, you can see I'm just going over it and kind of adding some more scratch into the bottom. I didn't want to overdo it, I was trying to keep it more weighty around where he is as the focus. So I'm also leaving those areas where there's like not as much. I've been trying to do less line art around the underside of the eyes so that I can indicate that squidge more with colour than line, so that it doesn't look as heavy, because I know that's something I'm leaning into. Anyways, I'm starting to test out my Copic colours and pick which ones I want. I wanted to lean this into having more of an atmospheric greeny blue so that it would work nice with the kind of blondie ginger hair that he has. He's supposed to be like golden retriever coloured, so I wanted to lean into that. So I'm starting out by doing a really soft wash of this blue and then putting some of the skin tone in as well. So I'm trying to figure out where is that glow coming from. That's where those lightest values are going to be. and making sure that that color is reflecting down onto him so that I have a placement for that. And then I will be making all of these colors stronger and darker as I go forward, but I'm kind of taking the same approach that you would with watercolor, I suppose, because it makes it a bit easier to work with these. I am going to be adding small highlights with those white gel pens later on, but this is generally how I will start with this kind of thing. So we go from those lighter colors to darker. You can blend with the Copics and, well, alcohol markers in general if you get enough down so that it is wetter, but because it's alcohol it dries really quickly, and you have to put like a lot of ink down, so I'm not doing too much of that, and you can see where some of it's overlapping and not blending quite as well, even just because of the time it takes me to change the pens. You can get the colorless blenders, but I didn't want to sort of have everything bleed out too much on this. So now I'm starting to try and bring that blue into the background, and I want most of it to fade out into that. And for any of these more, I guess, kind of yellowish dirt colors, I'm trying to lean into the green with this. So most of the colors are kind of sagey green and olive green that I'm using in this. There isn't all that much of me using actual yellow. So this one, for example, is more of a kind of greeny color when you see it in person. It's not quite as yellow as it looks there, so it blends in more with that blue. As I'm going as well, you can see I didn't really go heavy enough with that light blue. As I'm starting to add these darker colors, it's washing out quite a lot, and it needed more, so I started bringing in a bit of a darker, more saturated blue onto that. I like the way that you can build up colors with these as well, so you can see a lot of me putting down one color like a gray, and then I'll bring in those olive colors over the top, and the darker greens and darker blues to get them to sort of build up different colors and variety in there. I'm also going to be doing that when I get into the pencils, so that we don't just have kind of, you know, one highlight, one shade in color. I started to think towards the end it almost looks like I have gone and rendered him in a similar way that I would digitally. There's obviously a bit more crunch with the texture of the paper, and the actual different pens that I'm using as well give it some texture as well. But you can kind of see how I'm building that up bit by bit and making sure that these colors make sense. I do think I could have pushed it a bit more and made it more atmospherically blue, just in general, but I didn't want to lose too much of that contrasty gold tint in his hair, because that looks kind of cool. I do bring more of that blue into the highlights as well, and you can see me just deepening that there with a bit of a stronger blue as well. I really like this kind of dark olive green color for shading his hair in, because blonde is a real pain to shade properly, and the secret seems to be adding in greenish colors into the shadows, and that also really helped with the blue that I was using as well, and having everything swing towards that with the cool shadows. I left doing the skin tones until last also, so you can see I'm going through like the clothes and the hair and the tail, where they're all similar colors, and then starting to work into the face, where I want to be really careful about how I'm doing that, because I know I'm going to want to go in later and add in more of the pencil variation in the face, which you can see is what I'm doing now. So I've got my Color Soft pencils out, and I'm starting to try and mess about with what's going on there. I did kind of cell shade the skin tones so that I had that as a base, and then go and bring in more of that warmth into his face. I did put a lot more sort of blue on the top as well, and I do go and add more of that in with pencils. You can see I'm kind of bringing that blue into his face there to play that up some more, to separate the planes of like the underside of his nose and on the top around his cheeks. And then also darkening the eyes, bringing in some of those little highlights. They didn't quite sit over the top as well as I thought they would. It probably would have been better for me to go and use some paint on the top there. But I didn't want to go like too over the top with it, so I just waited for it to dry, and then went over the top a few times with it. You can see I'm also bringing in more of that blue onto everywhere else as well, like onto the arms and onto the top and everything that's more pale. And then building up some more of that on the background, and also with a bit more shading on his face. You can see how there's a bit more sort of core shadow going on there, where it starts to darken and gives us that kind of bounce light look. to what is underneath. And there we go, he is done. This is a photo of it just in natural light, and I did have to adjust it a little bit to get the colours a bit more accurate. Unfortunately, the video washed it out quite a lot. But yeah, there we go. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped. If it did, give it a like, share if you think it'll help someone else, and subscribe for new videos when I have them. As I say, this was released early on the Patreon. You can find a link to that and everything else, including commissions and prints, down in the description. Thanks for watching. Goodbye!